And we're going live to an update from police on a shooting at Weston Collegiate. They're just setting up now. This is a shooting outside of the school that has sent a student to hospital. Here is police, and let's listen into what they have to say.
Anytime you're ready, sir.
All right, good afternoon. Shortly at approximately 12 noon this afternoon, a student at Weston Collegiate Institute was shot in the parking lot. This victim was shot in the chest area, or the upper chest area. After he was shot, he ran back into the school. The victim ran back into the school where he was tended to by teachers and faculty at the school. At that time, emergency services was contacted. Police and ambulance arrived on scene and tended to the victim. The victim was subsequently transported to a local trauma center where he is currently in critical care. The suspect information at this time is unknown males drove by and obviously shot this gentleman. They made good their escape in an unknown direction. I do not have a description of the suspects or the suspect vehicle. What I can tell you is that our Guns and Gangs unit and 12 Division Major Crime and 12 Division Criminal Investigation Unit is on scene, and we are canvassing for witness and video information. This is a residential area. If there's any homeowners in the area have any dash cam or residential camera footage, that would be greatly appreciated if they could fast forward that off to 12 Division at 416-808 1200 and or Crime Stoppers. I have the Toronto District School Board, Ryan, here with me as well, and he will be able to answer any questions in regards to the student at this time.
Good afternoon. Obviously, we are thinking of the student who is injured today. I can confirm that it was a 15-year-old grade 10 male student here at Weston Collegiate. Obviously, we're thinking of him, his family, loved ones, the staff and students here at the school right now. I can tell you that the lockdown has slowly been lifted. Students are being relocated to two area elementary schools for the remainder of the day. Obviously, not much more of that day to happen, but they are relocated elsewhere as police continue their investigation. For our part, we are making sure that supports are now coming in to speak with students if they need support through our professional support services teams, and obviously cooperating with police in any way we can as they continue their investigation.
Ryan, can you tell us if we know any information as far as if this was a targeted shooting, if there's any connections from the men in the vehicle to the school, fellow students?
I'd have to defer to Toronto Police on that, but not to my knowledge.
At this time, the investigation is ongoing. Like I said, our Guns and Gangs Task Force is out here, as well as our Criminal Investigations Bureau from 12 Division and their Major Crime Unit. I cannot confirm or deny that this was a targeted shooting at the time.
Were there a lot of other students around at the time of the shooting?
Well, I can tell you it was lunchtime, so just the traffic from lunch.
Inspector, can you just walk us through again? You said there was a car involved and the student was outside the school. Where outside the school?
There's a parking lot just behind me, and apparently the student came outside. It's lunchtime, like I said earlier, and apparently he was approached.
Do we know if there's a connection, if the people that we are looking for are known to the victim?
I do not. I cannot confirm that at this time.
So, do you know how many people were in the car?
No, I do not. I do not have any suspect information, description, or vehicle information at this time, unfortunately.
So just that somebody shot out of the car and...
That is correct.
Where was the 15-year-old shot?
In his upper chest area.
How many times was he shot? Because some of the students said they heard 2 gunshots.
At this time, I know once.
How serious are his injuries?
Pardon me?
How serious are his injuries?
He's at a local trauma center, and right now he's in the critical care unit.
Is it life-threatening?
Yes, I would say so.
Do we know if anyone else was injured?
No, there's no one else.
Was the student with anyone else?
I cannot confirm that at this time. Like I said, it was lunchtime. It was just at noon, so just local traffic, people coming out for lunch.
And so did it happen at noon? Was it
just at around that time?
Sorry, can we ask you to step a little closer to the microphone, please? Thank you.
Sorry, I missed the first 2 minutes. Can you just repeat what happened here?
At approximately around 12 noon this afternoon, a gentleman, the victim, had come outside into the parking lot, and he was approached and shot by unknown suspects. The victim ran back inside the school. At this time, At this time, the faculty and teachers tended to his wounds, and they called emergency services, and then he was taken to a local trauma center.
Okay. And he's a grade 10 student. How many, were there other kids that witnessed this, obviously?
Pardon me?
Other children all witnessed this?
I'm sure there were, like I said, it was lunchtime, so I'm sure there were other kids that were there.
And so question for Ryan, I wondered if you could talk about when the student ran back into the school, who would have taken care of him until the paramedics arrived?
Some of our staff immediately jumped in and quite frankly were tending to the student who was very clearly injured and tried to keep him as comfortable as possible until paramedics could arrive and then obviously rushed off to hospital.
Do we know, was he conscious at the time?
I believe so, but I don't know during the entire time how that was. Obviously, he had just been injured, so they were trying to keep him as comfortable as possible until first responders could arrive at the school.
How are those teachers doing now?
Obviously, after something like that is very difficult. I think everyone in the office right now and in the school is just going ahead and doing everything they can to keep as great a sense of normalcy as a day like this can possibly provide, just to make sure that making sure that we're guiding students over to the local elementary schools when they're being removed from the school. Obviously, just doing everything that we do following one of these incidents. But obviously, after something like this happens, that's got to be tremendously difficult. So we'll be obviously reaching out to make sure that we're providing support not only for the staff directly impacted following the injury, but also to students and staff elsewhere in the school.
Ryan, are there cameras?
All right, that is an update from Toronto Police and the Toronto District School Board on the shooting at Weston Collegiate. It happened just after noon. A student, according to police, was shot in the parking lot. The victim then ran back into the school where he was tended to by staff at the school until paramedics arrived. The victim was apparently shot in the chest and was taken to a trauma center in critical and life-threatening injuries. At this time, police say that a vehicle drove by, but there is a unknown number of suspects or suspects still on the loose, and there is no suspect or vehicle description at this time. The lockdown is currently being lifted as students are being transferred to other places for parents to come get them.